So hi, this is Hope. I'm here from IndieTheaterHabit.com, and I'm talking to Lou Harry. Lou, how's it going?
It's going really good. It's always feels great after a reading.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to hear the newest rendition, or what do you say, the newest incarnation of your play. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, the Pied Piper of Hoboken has been on an evolution for this is like 15 years now.
Wow.
It's been a lot of different things. It started out as a children's theater piece that I did in Philadelphia with a group that I had co-founded there called Comedy for Kids. We did a lot of irreverent children's theater, stuff that the kids got on one level, adults got on a different level, still very G-rated, very fun, very exciting, very interactive. We did maybe a half dozen shows in Philadelphia. Took this one to New York for a couple of weekends and did it there, took it to some schools, and then it kind of sat for a while. It came back as I made an effort to rewrite it as a screenplay, and then Shrek came along, and then we tried it as a musical a while back, which actually was part of a fundraising effort that led to some of the money that started Fringe Fest. So we've been through a lot of different permutations, still trying to find exactly what'll work with it. This time, part of the effort was to boil it down even tighter. 5 actors, so it's very producible, and to do something that goes back to the original spirit that we loved so much in the original production. So it's kind of like it's maybe an introduction to Shakespeare. It kind of does for Shakespeare what I hope that like maybe the musical Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, the brilliant Larry Gelbart book of that does to the Romans. What we kind of do to Shakespeare in it. We take all kinds of Shakespeare plays, meld them into the Pied Piper fable story, and try to do something very fun that also, if somebody's into Shakespeare, they can catch a lot of the references, but you don't need to in order, we hope, to enjoy the show. For me as a writer, the most exciting thing and the best way to see the work, to try to find the flaws in it, to try to improve it, is to see it with terrific actors. And we were able to put together just an amazingly generous, wonderful cast here.
They were amazing. And so Claire Wiltshire, who were the 5 actors tonight? Karen Irwin, Claire Wiltshire,
John Patrick Cohen, Claire Wiltshire, Scott Greenwell, Diane Conrad, the great Diane Conrad.
And who was reading the stage directions?
And that was my daughter Katie Harry reading the stage direction, soon to be appearing in Pike High School's production of Guys and Dolls. Really proud of her. So she did the stage directions to keep things moving. And in this case, sometimes one of the things you can miss in a reading when physical humor is worked in, and that's one of the fears you have, that a lot of that's going to be missed. So you need to have some of that stage direction read, but not in a way, we hope, that intrudes with the pace of the show. And
speaking of staging, something that occurred to me as I was listening, and I had a great time. It was a lot of fun and a lot of puns and funny cultural references and stuff. But staging it seemed like it switched, and I don't know very much about staging a show. So how do you handle all the, they're in the pit and then they're in the throne room? And
we did it, when we did a full production of it back in Philly, we did it with very minimal setting. Everything is just suggested. And as you know from seeing it, there are 4 characters who each play one role, and then 1 character who plays about 25 of them.
The actor, oh my goodness.
Part of the fun, I hope, in the show is what's she going to do next? Who's she going to be playing next? What kind of character is she bringing to it? And how's she going to suggest that into a quick change? Obviously, we're not doing full costume changes. So a costumer's challenge would be, how do you suggest each of those roles with maybe one item?
Yeah.
But there are also things like, in Hamlet, the mousetrap play is done by a group of actors to try to trap Claudius. Well, here we have Yorit, the court mime, doing it. So that would require her to slap on some mime face and that. So we had to give enough time after that for her to be able to transition to another character. So it would be a challenge for a director and a costumer, but I think they could pull it off, especially when you have somebody of that talent being able to do the role.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. What else are you working on? I know you always have like a lot of projects up in the air. Do you have another book coming out?
Just sent another novel to my agent, and we'll see what happens with that. Working on another humor book. Have done a few preliminary workshops of another adult play.
Okay.
That's still, I consider every time we do a reading, I end up putting it back on blocks, taking it apart completely, and seeing where that goes. That's still in the early stages of the evolution, but I'm a fan of the process.
Well, and speaking of that, what's happening with Midwestern Hemisphere, which was the first play I ever saw of yours loved?
A couple things, good and maybe not so good. We had a reading in Philadelphia at the Walnut Street Theater with a terrific group of actors, including cast members from Avenue Q. I mean, it was a wonderful cast, terrific reaction. A number of people wanted to see the script. We've sent it out, and we'll see what happens. We're not sure what the effect's going to be once a certain book hits stands.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
Apparently Stephen King had a similar idea, and this little-known novelist,
Yeah.
Stephen King, has a book coming out that might, sell a few copies. So
I forgot about that,
we're not sure
Luke.
if that's going to help or hurt this. Obviously, that piece predated. That piece goes back in different forms about 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 years or so. So there's no plagiarism suits going on in either direction, but we'll see.
Well, Lou, thanks very much. I really appreciate your taking the
Such a
time to
pleasure.
talk with me.
Thanks for coming out. We hope to have other things to present in the near future.
Thanks again.
Be well.